Roxanne. And we can't forget about the Birdman. That's right. We got Roxanne, Birdman. A whole bunch of craziness in Canada is going down. Let's talk about it after the jump. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I bet this is what they're all saying about each other.
This is exactly how they are feeling right now. Everybody involved in this whole situation, this whole drama, pretty much hates Shelley.
Would too.
Yeah, pretty much. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Chaos J. Catfish Season 6 Remix. Dynamic duos in the building. We got a special guest in the building. We're going to talk about it. You should already know where to find me. Twitter, Chaos, KAAOSJ. Instagram, I don't know. Here lately, I've been forgetting my handles. I say them so much, though, right? Instagram, Chaos_Oceans31. 31 flavors of waviness all up in your face. I can't do this without my other half, who held it down today. She holds it down all the time, but she legit held it down for the boy today. On other shows, give it up, dynamic duo, my other half on this show, the real OG in the building. Tell them who you are.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Olivia Gabbray. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, @thereal_O_G. And today we have a third element to the dynamic duo. What's up?
Shaking it up on you.
I was like, what do I call this?
I told you it's the remix. You never know what you're going to get with the Season 6 remix.
Well,
Let's go.
What's up, y'all? My name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on everything @TK Trinidad. Very simple. Just
TK all day in the place. What you say? All right. So today we had a slightly different episode. The Catfish had already happened. We had Paris Roxanne, Birdman, and then Shelley. Paris Roxanne was, if you guys remember, there was a whole scandal, so to speak, with the Birdman from the Denver Nuggets at the time, where he was accused of dating the underage minor and and having child pornography. We all find out later that really actually wasn't what happened. There was a lot of circumstantial evidence that didn't get revealed to the public that later exonerated him, and but also kind of put a little stain on his career. We had Paris Roxanne, who met Birdman online, or she thought she met Birdman online. She just simply liked his fan page.
No, it was
it was a little more than that.
Well, I'm sorry. It started with her liking his fan page, and then she got the friend request.
Yeah, but this girl straight up, this all happened. You got it down.
Right.
But to remind you, she put her phone number on one of his statuses.
Yeah, his post. So he did a post.
Paris Roxanne did that?
Yeah, she did a post,
wow.
and she's
I
like,
didn't
call
catch
me.
that.
You see?
5555555. So, she did get the D in the end, but still.
You put yourself out there.
Yeah.
But vulnerable to the catfishers.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. But she did get the D in the end, so congratulations to her.
Defense. That's right.
D for defense.
Just saying, that was the outcome she wanted.
Okay, so they, just real quick recap. So they started talking over text, and she thinks that, everything's going good. They never talk on the phone. And again, we have that checklist, which we are at some point going to actually show you visually. We keep forgetting because it's just so hectic, but that's part of the checklist. That's one of the items, is like when you're talking to somebody, at some point there needs to be a real phone conversation. So if you never have that, red flag, like instantly. What's up? How come I never get to hear your voice? At some point, you get to hear that person's voice.
Right. I do think that is strange. You definitely should FaceTime or hear their voice.
Especially when you're talking to a celebrity.
Yeah, definitely when you're talking to a celebrity. However, because they were sending like spontaneous photos to each other, in my mind, I feel like that would make up for that, because if you're asking this person for a photo like, oh, what are you doing right now? Or send me a picture with the spoon on your nose or some shit. And they do it.
It's not like a photo that you can, especially if it's not a photo that you can see on their social media.
Right.
Like say if you post something and like send me a picture and that person just posted it a while ago, then that's kind of, but it's a picture of you on your couch.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know for me personally, that's always my thing is like, I don't want no stale pics. I don't want no pics
Send me
that
a
you
freshie.
took. Exactly. Send me that fresh. I don't want nothing that you already took. You got the sexy bedroom eyes. Them sexy bedroom eyes wasn't for me 5 months ago. You didn't know me 5 months ago.
How do you know the picture's 5 months old though?
You can tell certain pictures and based on the, whatever you guys are talking about. And then I say, yo, send me a pic. And you send me a pic. And it's like, hold on, wait. Like you literally just told me you walked in the house.
I actually have a tip for that.
You got the lights, candles lit, you in that sexy negligee, cut it out. You just walked in the house. I just heard you walk in the house and feed your dog.
You can tell if a photo is old because when someone sends you a photo and you save it to your phone, if you click on the info, you can see the time and place that it was taken.
Bam. And like I said,
Just let
send me
you
that
know.
fresh. If you ain't sending that fresh, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yikes.
And that's also, something
serious.
that you can take into consideration when you're, trying to rule out if somebody's a catfish, which we will also talk about.
However,
later.
if they screenshotted the photo, then there would be new info and
And it looks
the
like
catfish goes on.
You guys ever think about like having them write your name on their hand and then take a picture of that?
You see, we have someone on Catfish has done that before, and now we're at the point where people can Photoshop these type of things.
Wow, they've advanced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that advanced that they can
advanced
Photoshop
catfish.
something. They can Photoshop holding a sign with something written on it to the point where you can see shadows. They can create the shadows natural shadows that would happen if someone were holding it in a certain lit area. Yeah, it's highly advanced. Some of these catfishers definitely need jobs in the technical field.
I don't understand. Like there's everybody for somebody. Like you don't have to be like gorgeous. Like I've seen people are like, oh, okay. Like I don't understand why they go into so much of. I mean, I love the show.
Right.
I'm watching the show forever, but I just don't understand why they go through so much to catfish someone when you could literally go and find somebody. Like it won't be, an athlete because you're not on athlete level, but you find somebody for you. There's somebody for everyone.
Exactly. So she actually, after having long conversations with Birdman, she gets a ticket and she flies out to see him and she hangs out with the real Birdman.
You see, this
So
is
and this is when it
mind-blowing.
gets tricky. Okay, because she actually hangs out like she's texting like, yo, I'm here at the airport. Okay, cool, I'm on my way. Like they're having back-to-back conversations, or so we think, but there's Shelly behind it the whole time. So let's just soak this in real quick. Think of all of what had to go into her being that fast to literally handle, because Shelly was not only texting as Birdman, she was texting as Paris. So when Chris Birdman is talking to Paris, he's actually talking to Shelly. And when Paris is talking to Chris, she's actually talking to Shelly. So she's controlling the conversations between the two of them to include Tom.
This is so
Weird.
beyond what I can fathom. Okay, imagine you're at the airport, and so you need to call your man to pick you
Yeah, I
up
don't
or
know why
to
she
come
never
find
called.
you.
That's
She
so
never
weird.
called him. She's just texting him like, or maybe she did call and he denied it and was like, yo, just text me like, what's up? But this girl
How's that
had
again?
to be
How's that again? I need that
like,
one.
what's up? But she had to be so quick and on point to coordinate them meeting up together. Like, this is wild to me. And it's even more wild to me that it was either so precisely done that they couldn't figure it out, or they're just not swift enough to realize that something's off.
Right.
I don't know. It's.
Well, and then she says that when she gets to his house and they're having the conversation, she mentions his friend Tom, who low-key Tom was like the concierge.
The brother-in-law
because he was the
type
one that actually said, oh, you should come out and visit and blah blah blah, and then he actually sent her the ticket, the e-ticket. And then he was like, yeah, Tom, like, who are you talking about?
Right.
That really should have been the red flag. When she said really, she just kind of dismissed it like, oh, he's just messing with me.
Right.
But that should have been the red flag
See-
that he didn't know who Tom was. But at the same time, you dismiss that because you're there.
Exactly.
So when you think you're dealing with a catfish, but then all that gets wiped away once
you
you
see the
actually
person.
see them. When you get out that car and you're like, yo, what's up, Chaos? And I'm like, oh, shit, she really is real.
I don't care. That's not an excuse. If I was talking someone to face to face, and
Right.
I was talking about a person who was supposed to be related to you,
Right.
okay, so you're Nuggets dude, and I'm me, and I'm like talking to
Nuggets
you about
dude.
this Tom person, and you don't know who he is. Wouldn't you stop for a second and be like, what do you mean you don't know who he
I
is?
have the
I've
answer
been
to that.
what?
How old are you?
23.
She's 17.
Oh my god.
And she's 17, so she's gorgeous. She's 17. She thinks she got blown out to NBA. Not like the one who sits on the
guess
bench.
so.
Like he's that dude.
Like, he's
She's-
pro status.
Yeah, she's been crushing on him for a while, and it's like, okay. And then it's obvious. I mean, I don't know about 17-year-olds, but it's obvious that she didn't go there for a relationship, because that's not how you do relationships. So she went there for like, oh yeah, like I'm hanging out at this dude's house I've never met. We've been talking. She's been sending naked pictures. Like they're both there for.
Defense.
Can I just? Where's the mom? Like, where is your mom and dad?
I know, I wish I could've told my
why
mom.
is this happening?
Well,
like
she
you're
had
flying
got it the
across the
weekend.
damn country.
Yeah.
But mom, we're probably pretty close in age. I would say.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
But you have
true.
to think about it. If her mom she's dating somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's dating somebody that is
Is
not
out
in
of
the
state.
state. And her mom said, "Okay, it's cool." She's already been
doing stuff
like that naked
there's
picture
no
and
way
stuff is not
right
new.
there's no way I'm letting my 17-year-old daughter fly anywhere to go see no man.
Yeah,
Exactly,
fly,
you
like
see?
but
Like, no,
nothing. Yeah,
you
no.
lucky if I let you have a boyfriend.
exactly.
I know, but you know, this is what I'm saying is I don't understand why this wasn't monitored well enough. And I get like, yeah, you're 17 and you're so hyped that you're at an NBA player's house that just flew you out, whatever. But I just think that common sense maybe would kick in and kind of be like, okay, I've been talking
Yeah.
to
Common
this
sense is not
strange
always
man
common,
and like giving him the lowdown on my life, and you don't even know who he is,
Yeah.
question mark.
Common
But
sense is not always common.
I guess maybe if you're caught up in the moment, I'll give her like half of a
And she's half of a
benefit of a
BOD.
doubt.
Half of a BOD. But you remember too, she's probably also starstruck. So that's another factor to
Yeah, you have
consider.
to throw it like that when it's just some other dude and she's a gorgeous girl and that guy's average. I bet you her common sense or whatever common sense she's had would have kicked in. But now you're in with a dude like I remember the first celebrity I hung with. I was like, oh, okay, like it's a different feeling.
She's like taking photos in his bedroom. I'm like, oh my god.
And the house must have been massive.
Right.
I did that. I had that situation, not like Catfish, but I was dating somebody and he was in the NFL and I was like, okay. And I'm sending my friend pictures like all over the place. Here's his room. Here's me
But
on his-
your friend though, not a random dude that you never met before.
But she thinks they're friends.
Oh
That's
my
how people
God.
do. People
But
can
then-
be
Predators.
But then you think you're saying like you would think like, okay, why are you if that's your friend, why are you asking me for random pictures? Because you already know.
No kidding.
I mean
Honestly,
the whole
Send the
go in the
proof.
closet and,
Yeah.
and wear the hat thing was kind of random. That was super random. But I mean the whole situation does have the stench of Catfish.
that's a stench of something, and I
It's-
can only think like, you know, the situation's bad, but thank God it was a girl, like a girl that's kind of similar in age to you on the other end of this phone, not an older strange man that you don't know
In crusty
that you're
boxers.
sending freaking photos of yourself
crusty
to,
boxers.
and think about it, you're telling him your every move.
Right.
You had to be smarter than that. That's ridiculous. He could literally come and prey upon you if he wanted to. You served it to him on a platter.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Here you go.
Here's where I am, my location, my
Cash
name,
and
my life,
prizes.
my
Yeah.
boobs.
Come get them.
There you go. Stupid.
Yeah, so they have a great time. They hang out. She gets back and stuff just gets weird. And you've got Tom and Chris telling her about some person on Call of Duty that they want that they can't stand, that they want her to reach out to so that she can go and steal his passwords
In Indiana.
in Indiana, so that she can get his passwords to his account, and they can do something to sabotage his account so that he's not as good as he is in Call of Duty and whatever. When she finally, because you've got Chris and Tom pressuring her, Chris is offering her, Louis V bags and all this other kind of stuff, and she's just like, wait, no, what? No, this is crazy. No, I don't want to do this.
No.
And then she says no, then they get mad, and the next thing you know, she's getting threats like, yo, we're gonna rape you, kill you, and throw you out on the
Somebody
street.
to rape you. Yeah.
Like
that's
from Lil Extreme.
not only, it's over a video game. And then here's the thing too, it's like, okay, I get that, they're low-key stupid. This whole situation is dumb.
Yeah.
But never unless she's a gamer, I would never ask a female to do anything game-related. Because if you're not a gamer, you don't get it.
Right.
That's just, like, I'm not going to ask somebody, like, hey, like, I need you to go over there and configure this router, and then I need you to set up a whole wireless network next door for the neighbor. Like, I'm not going to ask you to do something that's out of your scope. It's out of your area.
Yeah.
Like, IT's my thing. Gaming was their thing. Why are you asking a non-gamer to go through all these hoops
Yeah.
for another gamer
Yeah.
in the first place?
She must really be passionate about Call of Duty.
Well, that's how she met her husband.
That's how she met her husband.
So maybe this other person was pissing her and her husband off, and they were like, "All right, we gotta knock this
We gotta
guy
take
out of
this
the
guy
game."
out. Like, he keeps killing us. Like, he's
That's
killing my
what-
stats
that's
right
what it
now.
sounds like, because the husband didn't really even seem like he was fazed by the whole situation. She
And
probably
that's
told
what's
him.
wild
And she's like,
to
oh, okay,
me.
cool.
That this. Oh my gosh, we'll get there. I'll talk about
Okay.
it later.
So let's talk about, okay, so ultimately we get the story from Paris. All right, Max and Eve take everything that Paris tells them, and then about her concerns that, like, look, Shelly just got out of jail, because Shelly goes to jail after everything's said and done, once they realize it's her and then it's not that Chris is creepy, weird, and blah 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 blah. So they go ahead and they start doing their investigation. They talk to I'm trying to find it, the Mountie dude, the Constable Gord Olson. Yeah, okay, so they connect with him, and then he gives them even more intel. He gives them even more inside scoop of what's going on, but then he also says, look, I can probably set it up so that you guys can talk to Shelly. So then they're on their way to talk to Shelly, and they have to go to Canada. What were y'all thinking when just before we even knew all the things we know? Once they get to Shelly, what were you thinking when he's just telling the story, and he's giving all that extra intel, and then he's like, "Yeah, I can set that up." What were your thoughts?
Freaking people in the hallway over here are probably like, what the hell? I was like, oh my god, no, they're gonna meet her, they're gonna see her, like, I can't wait, oh my gosh. And I mean, we saw her, but it was not as fabulous as I thought it would be.
What did you think she was gonna be?
Oh my god, I thought she was gonna be like someone awful that I could just hate on, but she wasn't. She was like, I hated her, but I didn't really hate her that much.
Now, and this is, I'm gonna bring this up, and this is wrong, but I'm just gonna bring it up anyway.
Boy.
Do you think that part of the reason that it was a little harder to hate her as much was simply because she didn't look like a lot of the standard people that catfish? She actually wasn't a bad looking girl.
Did you see her teeth?
She was pretty,
I did see her teeth.
but she didn't have teeth.
So, with the exception of her teeth, well, I mean, when you don't go out the house in 12 years,
right?
Yeah.
And that means you're not getting any dental visits.
Yeah.
She's probably eating all kind of random stuff.
Yeah. But she looks skinny on TV, and TV adds 10 pounds, so she's probably even skinnier in person.
Okay, but we're not used to those kind of catfishers.
Right.
We're used to people that are, they aren't the most physically attractive. Some of them are overweight.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, because she wasn't as bad looking, it was like, okay.
That's a good PC version.
I guess. I think it was more than that, though, because obviously with the power of editing, they have like a biased point of view that they can present to us. And obviously they paint it in a way of, oh, can I see your mom?
Yeah.
What happened? You didn't leave the house for 12 years. You know, they were painting us this picture that made us feel bad for her.
See, but I didn't though.
I didn't.
I didn't feel bad
It's
for her
like,
at all. I give her credit for taking care of her mom, but I understand that, you know, idle. What is it? It's like idle minds lead to idle hands or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that. So I get that whole thing, but that still doesn't justify what you did to the level of what you did.
Right, and she was getting money off of it too.
Right,
This wasn't
like-
just like, not to say catfishing's for fun, but it was like you're extorting, because this wasn't her first go around as
Right.
far as getting money from folks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when it gets kind of, because now how are you able to get the Louis V bags? Like, how is she coordinating that? Like, there has to be some upfront cash somewhere, and yeah, it's.
I agree with you. I didn't feel bad for her, but I understood where MTV was trying to go with this. Because they were showing us all of this for a reason. They could have easily painted her to be a monster,
Right.
heinous person.
I was kind of expecting that, because again, remember when Paris actually got to see her, she said she had no remorse at that time.
Yeah.
She had zero empathy, and she was like, yeah, like, if anything, you guys should be thanking me because I put you two together.
Right.
Which I did found interesting. The one thing that Paris didn't say, which I believe she probably did, was that Birdman posted a picture of him and another chick, and Paris got
Yes.
pissed off and was like, you know, that's what happened, but she
Right.
like failed to include that part.
Oh, 100%.
So it's just kind of like, okay, like how Paris painted herself. She painted herself as a total victim, but on the flip side, you lied to him. You told him you were 17, or you lied to Shelly, who told him. You told him you're 18. So you lied to him and told him you were illegal. You went there. Like, what was your whole intent on going there? Like, you can't just pull up to somebody's house and like, not to say like, can't pull up to some dude's house and then not give the, you know.
Well, I mean,
Basically,
you
can't
flew
just go
across
to
the country for a reason.
Right.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
fly. Right.
Yeah, we're not getting married.
No man, you know, well, most men aren't going to fly someone like, yo, you know what? Why don't you come down,
Yeah.
hang out for the weekend?
After not talking to them ever, just all text, like.
and you going to come over and we just going to hang out and watch TV? Like, I like the way she omitted that from,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm like, whatever, you got that D, girl.
Well, yeah, she did say, she said we started kissing, and then, you know, one thing led to the other, which is fine, but then you can't flip over, and I think this is more of an age thing. You can't flip when he posts pictures of some other chick, because like you have to know your role. So it's just kind
Not
of
only
like
that,
he's
and
a
I'm sure
side
that they
boob.
never discussed.
not even. She's not even
Right.
that, because they
Right.
didn't even discuss.
They never discussed
Pure
like, yo,
thought.
what, she never had the, what are we?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what does this mean?
Because if you're a side boo, and this is how it would have like changed it up, thing, you would take pictures, not together, but you like, all right, let me send you a pic while you're there, because he went to practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't do what side people are supposed to do. Like, she
Okay.
didn't. She's like, oh, you got practice. Let me send you a sexy pic. Like, it didn't.
Right.
Like, did you get the picture? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
would have. There would have been some signs here and there, but yeah, she painted herself in such a great light, but you're forgetting like the whole aspect of it. Like, okay, supposedly you were dating some other dude that you lied to your mom and told you you were going to see him. Then you saw this other dude, and then, you know, you were just kissing, which led to something else. And then you get upset. It's kind of like...
To be honest, like, the only person that I really feel bad for in this situation is him. I don't feel bad for
yeah.
either of the girls. I mean, yeah, it sucks that your nudes and stuff got released, but
Well, how bad
I mean,
do you
I'm not
feel
trying to
for
be
him,
evil,
though?
but it's just like, I feel bad for him because without him knowing his career was
Right.
put on the line, his name and his reputation is tarnished over something that he
Right.
like really had no idea about.
How old was he at the time, though? Like,
I mean, he was
Pretty
he
old.
obviously.
it's a dicey situation. Like, obviously, if you like young chicks, not young like as kids, but when you kind of look at it, because she looks really young, even though she's gorgeous, she looks really young. So when you have somebody who kind of looks like, I want to see ID.
right.
Like, I need to make sure for
Don't
my.
you need to know a date of birth to book a plane ticket?
Well, I think it's different when it's just in the nation. If you're doing outside the country,
No, you
No.
definitely need a birthday.
'Cause I-
you need a birthday,
yeah.
but you don't need to. Do you need to prove it? It's not as stringent like if you have to get a visa or something like that. Like,
She
you
would
can
have
put-
had to show her ID. So if nothing else, when he booked that ticket to match her birthday, maybe with excluding the year.
Right.
But he did have to match her birthday because she's going to have to show ID that actually matches what he put in on that ticket.
Or maybe he gave her the money to buy the ticket.
No, she said he sent him the
sent
ticket.
her a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
many questions.
But still, she still looked young. Like, even that part was to skip, like she put in because she was off by a year. So that part, the airlines didn't catch it, all this other stuff, he didn't catch it. Now she's in his face and she's telling him she's 18. I mean, like, at that age, 16, 17, 18, like, all girls are either lying to be older, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so I would, like, just to cover my tuchus, like, let me see some ID.
But I mean, right, but that's easier said than done. Like, okay, I just flew you here. I'm excited to see you. You're excited to see me. I really want something to go down. And I'm like, hey, but first.
Yeah, but this is
run that
Birdman.
ID.
He's an NBA player. Like, he has a roster.
But they not thinking about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're speaking from the dude, so.
I'm just saying, like, he's. Like, that low-key should have been something. He should have been like, hey, you know what? Like, like, you bad and you this and you that. So, let me see your driver's license. Like, he could have even played it off like, oh, like, hey, like, look, like, here's my driver's license pic, like, let me see yours. Like, I love, looking at people's driver's license pic. It's like my thing. Like, it's like a thing. I just like to see,
she
what
probably
the pic
didn't
is.
even have a damn license.
Oh,
like,
gosh. It was
Who knows?
all terrible.
Who knows? So
I'm just really, like, 17 and that's so young.
So we see that, she's taking care of her mom, to jump back to the whole Shelly thing. And I don't know, like, the whole initial meeting with them was just so weird. Even the phone call was weird.
when
first off, before
when the husband answered,
right? Well, yeah, and then she's hello, yeah.
She just seems so bizarre to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that giggle.
Yeah.
That giggle.
What?
That's that.
That's that crazy giggle.
Yeah.
Like, you went from sounding like you were half awake to okay, see you soon.
Yeah.
You see?
She's on medication for sure.
Bizarre. And when her husband answered the phone, I was done. And
Well,
I was
you know
like,
what I thought?
Oh,
It was a
my
voice changer?
God.
I thought it was
Yeah,
a voice
me too.
changer. That's what I thought at first. And then, so it was just, oh, God, it was just so weird. And then they get there, and it's just, she just seems so awkward.
There's something wrong. Like, there's obviously a screw missing.
If you think about it, if you spend 12 years in your house, and aside from that, your only company is your sick mother, your husband who you developed a relationship with over Xbox,
Right.
and then you go to jail, it's like, okay, well, what is your social life really like?
Right.
She must have some type of social disorder, especially if she resorted to this in-depth type of catfish.
Right. And then where she was located, I think it was Everton, which is kind of almost like
Easterville, actually.
Oh, Easterville. It sounds like it's not
like middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere because there's
Yeah.
only like really. I'm from Canada, so I can say this freely. There's only like 3 hot spots in Canada as far as like city-wise, you're around law folks and all this other stuff. Everywhere else is more like the Midwest of America, it's like same type of thing, like very spacious. So you can be locked away. Or you can walk to the corner store or something like that and literally see maybe one other person. So it just seemed like she didn't have like the social interaction.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seemed like there was some screws loose with that one.
Yeah. So, I mean,
It all gave me a headache.
But here's the thing. Now I'm so confused because she pinned it all on this Texas woman,
girl.
which she
Right.
had to be lying about because we got the information from the cop, and whatever the judge and the jury or whatever the Canadian system is alluded to was that it was her fault and she
Right.
needs to
She
pay
was
the price for
right,
it.
exactly.
So obviously she has to be lying about.
To a certain
Yes.
extent, because if you think about it, it's in the Canadian system. The other girl's in Texas, so they can't necessarily prosecute the girl in Texas because she would have to go to Canada.
Okay.
So it could be like, okay, well, we're gonna, make an example of her and make sure that people don't do stuff like this, and kind of pin those on her because the girl from Texas is not going to come to Canada
Right.
to say,
yeah, she's
oh,
not
well,
going
she's
to
lying.
reveal herself.
So
Right.
it's kind of like you almost have to, like, they didn't have to do that, but you almost just put everything on her because it's just easier. And given everything that's in her life, it's not like she had she probably had some like prosecutor that didn't have, like, it was, what's it called? She couldn't pay for it.
The public defender.
Public defender. So it's kind of like all those chips stacked up against her anyway. So it's just easier for them to throw everything on her. Opposed to, okay, well, the girl in Texas was, she had something to do with it as well, but you can't make a case out
did
of
you
that.
guys believe her, or did you believe what the cop painted for us, or did
I
you
believe the
what
cop.
she did?
I don't believe all of I believe there's some truth to what she was saying.
There's some stuff, not the whole story.
But yeah, no, definitely not the whole story. It does kind of throw me off a little bit to even entertain the idea that there was another person involved. But at the same time, it would make a little bit more sense because all I can keep thinking of is the technical aspects to this whole catfish.
Yeah.
Because the fact that she's literally handling multiple messages instantly. Like, you say, hey, what's up, beautiful? How's your day? And, and I'm like, oh my God, my day is amazing. Like, nope. We never had this real conversation. It all originates and comes from her.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is
But no one said, they never said anything of any slip-ups.
Yeah, and then even on the technical side, as far as the money, like, I think what not confused me, but made me think part of her story was true. She doesn't seem like she could put all that together by herself.
Right.
Like, she didn't give him her account or something in Canada that would link her to them. So they're using somebody else's account. And
which will make sense for the whole Texas.
Right.
The Texas
so
person.
but it didn't seem like she could put everything together to kind of blackmail the Texas lady fully.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed more of like they might have met through Xbox or something like that,
Right.
and then they gone too deep, and now this is where they are. Like, it just is. There's certain aspects of her personality that just doesn't seem like she's able to do that. So she needs help.
Yeah. Okay. I see that. There's no way she could have pulled that out.
Like,
herself.
all of that. Unless she might be smarter than she looks.
And can we bring up the fact that she served 18 months in Canada, but if she was prosecuted in the United States, it was 24 to 48 years.
Oh, wow.
That is so extreme.
That's probably overkill.
Blackmail, wouldn't it be embezzlement? Like, there's
not embezzlement because she didn't work. It would be extortion. So it's blackmail, extortion,
and then probably like distributing child pornography or something.
Right, exactly, because she was underage.
That might be where the years come from.
It's gotta be.
Oh my God! And here's the other thing, though. I don't know how this works. Obviously, he didn't have knowledge that she was underage, but he did have relations with an underage
statutory
girl.
rape.
Yeah, but he's lucky he got off, though.
And got photos of an underage girl.
Which was where the whole pedophilia thing came in, because they were like, well, you have... And it definitely... There's certain things within the parameters of these laws that need to be slightly adjusted, because I don't feel like it's fair to label someone a pedophile.
Right.
If you're... Now, is it wrong if you're in your mid-20s and you're messing with someone that's 17? Yes, because that person isn't even close to being mentally developed to be in a relationship with you that is more developed at 25. But I don't feel like that makes you a pedophile.
But what about Kylie and Tyga?
Well, she was at the 17, 25.
Yeah.
Right. I don't feel like that makes him a pedophile.
Yeah.
Creepy? Yes. Weird? Yes. Should you know better? Yes. But I don't, because when you're 17, your frontal lobe is not fully developed. They say it doesn't fully develop where you're able to make all these different, logical decisions and things like in critical thinking until you're 25.
Yeah.
However, you're 17, you're going to do what you want to do. So you want to give up your cash and prizes to Tyga, then you go give up your cash and prizes. Here you go, take it.
Yeah, but the thing too, no offense to men, like, I don't think a 25-year-old man, depending on where he's done, how he's grown up, could almost be on the same level as, a 17-year-old. Like,
I believe it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do believe it.
It's true. I'm not even going to fight that. I'm not like, no, you don't know what you're talking about, girl. No, you're 100% right. His mentality is probably just right on par with hers.
Yeah.
Like, he's no different.
Right.
So they probably clicked like that. I feel like it's wrong. It's not okay. But again, I don't feel like him being with her.
She should go to jail for
Right.
it.
That is... Yeah, at least not as a pedophile, not as a pedophile or a sex criminal. Or what's the term?
I don't know.
Sexual predator.
I hear you though, because when you hear the word pedophile, it has, I mean, rightfully so,
You
has
think
a
of a
stigma.
child.
Yeah, like somebody like
You think of a
13,
child.
14, 7, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Right.
child. And when I look at her, I don't I mean, she is like young, but she's not a child.
Yeah.
child.
No, not at all.
So that's where things get extremely sticky. And I mean, to the best of his knowledge, he thought she was of age.
Yeah, she's like he's at least 6 foot, if not taller,
Right.
and she looks tiny.
She looks like a kid.
Yeah,
like
so
a teenager.
I don't know. Like I get it. I get that's not what he's thinking about there. He passed the pictures and all this other stuff, and he's excited. But just to save your career, like, and he's already been through so much to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it just, yeah, I get it. You're thinking with the small head, but like honestly, like everything could have been. He's the grown up in the whole
Right.
situation. He's
You
not
guys,
25.
Can I ask you something though? This is like a huge factor that I feel like I'm missing. So she couldn't get in touch with him herself by leaving her phone number on his status, whatever. How did Shelly get in touch with him? How did she get this celebrity athlete to answer her?
See,
I think she had sent the pictures to him, like DM'd him,
And that's how the
then got his
conversation-
attention. Because
That's
she
all you gotta do these days.
Oh, dude.
Send a picture of your whatever, and that's how you get an answer
Trey
back.
Songz has admittedly done that all the time.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
I'm about to DM. No, I'm just kidding.
You guys are not gonna see you next week. By the way,
no, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I think what happened was because she was responding to one of his messages and she didn't DM. I think she was kind of like just throwing it out there, and then I think Shelly responded to her, created the account, and then took her pictures and then DM'd him, and then he's
and then
like,
of course he was like, "Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
want to get some of that."
God.
yeah.
I mean, when you initially
Social
start a
media.
conversation like that, obviously there's only one thing that's the goal there.
I wonder, like, players from like the 70s and 80s are like wishing like they had it
I know.
so easy.
Right? Like,
Like,
now
yeah,
but
it's
it's
just
not
like-
easy though, because then you could fuck around and get caught up in some catfish.
right, and you get, and it can, and clearly now we can see with this being, you know, how far it went to the fact that this legit affected his career. He could have potentially gone to jail over this, which is scary within itself. What sucks is that, and they even said it in the show, is that, you know, it was breaking news when it happened,
Yeah.
and you know he's a suspect and he's this and he's that. There was no breaking news when
They
it
discovered
actually
it.
came to
Yeah.
light
Yeah.
that that he was in the clear.
Yeah, because I remember vaguely hearing that part, but I didn't even know the rest of it. Like, I didn't know, like, about Paris or anything like that. It's just like, oh, okay. But again, they had mentioned it. He was like the white version of Dennis Rodman. So you just assume, okay, well, yeah, definitely he has
He's
the
gonna do
potential
some
to
crazy
he could
shit.
do some
Right,
crazy
exactly.
stuff. So you just kind of dismiss it, like, all right, and then you don't remember stuff like that until you see a show like this. So sorry for him, but he bounced back.
He did.
That's good.
With the
He
heat.
didn't go to jail. So
Got a couple rings.
got a couple rings, and hopefully, like, he has girls who actually look like they're at least 25,
Right.
Or he's IDing them,
Right.
like, hey, let me.
I'm
see
sure
some
he
ID.
definitely
He's
has.
FaceTiming right
Yeah.
off the
Yeah,
bat.
he's definitely learned some lessons. Overall, it was a really good show. I thought that was nice. Nice change of pace for the season finale. I'm thinking it's a mid-season finale. It can't be the full season.
I don't know when it starts up again because
don't either.
I feel like Catfish seasons have like 20 episodes.
They do.
Yeah.
Last season
Yeah, that's
was
what I
20
thought.
episodes.
So today's like
it's
and then
got to
they're
be
taking a break.
mid-season.
Yeah, it's
gotta be
probably just a
mid-season.
break.
Well, I ain't really. If this is the break, then they need to figure it.
Stay
I didn't really
tuned.
like this one as far as the mid-season. It was juicy as far as all the details, but I wanted like the traditional, like, you know.
Yeah.
The guy who supposedly looks like Trey Songz is actually a chick, and like he's been messing around with like 4 other girls. He has like a roster.
He's that
And,
dude
like the
in his
Bow Wow,
underwear.
like the
yeah,
Bow
like
Wow
I wanted
episode.
something like that where
Where
somebody's
she
like
even
that.
sent 10 stacks. That was crazy.
Did you see the they checked her out like a couple years later, and she has like she's doing music, like she's doing well for herself, has a girlfriend, like she's doing well for herself.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see the follow up.
Yeah, they did a follow up to it, but yeah, I want to see like if this is the mid season, then this was like underwhelming. Like it was great,
Yeah.
but I want to end off like that. It's just like, you know, like if you go and you see Birdman and like you expect like, you know, a full show and you get
Right.
like 2 pumps, like I'm good.
Yeah, I wish that they got everybody.
to include the Texas.
Yeah, the Texas girl too would have been a good benefit, or
Right.
even, you know. Yeah, see, underwhelming. Everybody's just like,
I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, but yeah, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But it was still trippy. And I would have loved to have heard the inner workings of how everything was actually done.
Yeah, like almost like a chart.
I have so many questions though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to DM her myself. I'm just kidding.
Slide in those DMs. I'd like to slide into why her teeth look like that.
Oh my
But-
She
God.
only had like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
You guys
she
are
did.
so bad.
It's not bad.
I wasn't
I
gonna
was very
say
curious.
anything, but
Yeah.
like,
Well, because once she started talking, I was looking like,
And
wait.
it's Canada.
Because
we
there's
have
a-
healthcare.
There's a certain
Just saying.
right. It's free.
It's not free.
It's not
but
free,
we
but
have healthcare.
yeah,
Like,
it's
you,
not.
You have
yeah.
to do a lot to be sick.
right.
Like it's.
But like certain people, people that don't have teeth or don't have all their teeth, you like their mouth kind of forms a certain way. And she, when she
Around
started
that
talking, I noticed that, and I was just like, what's going on in there? Anyways, I'm glad
I
that
don't
she's
even want to see what's going on there.
I'm glad she's no longer catfishing.
And she has love. She's found
She has
love.
love. She has a husband, a full-blown husband. Her mom is still alive. She's still with her. She's still, in good health to as much as she can be. Looking forward to more stuff, more craziness on the second half of this season. I'm going to go ahead and call it. There's got to be a second half. They're not going to just cut this with.
They can't.
Yeah, no,
This
not
is-
at all.
This is.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. I don't have any predictions, so to speak, but that's what I would like to see.
agreed.
Ladies,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Give me the juice.
Yeah, give me some overseas. Give me some Ricky Martin lookalike, or give me something. Like,
I need something crazy. Like
Yeah.
another crazy episode, and I know we gotta go, but another crazy episode was when the dude thought he was dating Katy Perry and
Oh, yeah.
refused to believe
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
he was
Didn't he go
not-
to London or something
he
like that?
did. It was
Yeah.
like they went to the UK or
All
something
I
like
could do
that.
is pray for those people.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think sometimes with that too, you just hope. Like the girl with the whole Bow Wow thing, she just hoped to hope because that might be your only interaction. Like you have to take we take living in LA for granted. Like
do.
oh, well,
We
there's
do.
no
Yeah,
cool.
it's like I'm at
Yeah.
In-N-Out with Amber Rose behind me.
Yeah, it's just like oh, there's another one. Whereas people are like, no,
Were you really?
Yeah, she was in
Oh.
her pink ass car with the roof down, just chilling in and out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and you're in and out.
Right,
In LA,
and
like that's
it's
not
no big
normal.
deal.
I know.
Exactly.
We take it for
Yeah,
granted.
you take it for
I
granted.
guess.
So if people has the opportunity to talk to Bow Wow or talk to Birdman or talk to these people, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. We're more skeptical. Like, all right, who's your friend? Like,
Exactly.
I might know somebody who knows somebody who knows
Because
somebody.
for
to
as
figure
big
it
as
out.
it may seem to everyone else, it's such a small
So
community
small.
when you're actually here in LA.
Yeah,
Like everybody
so
knows
small.
everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
60 degrees of separation
It's
is a
beyond-
real
it's like
thing.
2.
But we have to wrap. It's been real. Dynamic duo in the building. Season 6 remix. We will be back. Obviously, there's a short break. I'm your man, Chaos J. You can find me on Twitter. Instagram, you can find me, Chaos_Oceans31. Oceans, why? Because your boy's so wavy. So while I keep it wavy, what will you be doing?
Just keeping it wavy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sticking it through this half season. I'm looking forward to the next half of the season. Again, I'm Olivia Gabray. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, The Real OG.
Shout out to Nissa Bar. She's done a lot of shows out here, so she just caught the last 15 minutes of show. So thank you for watching. For those people who haven't seen on my Twitter and Instagram, because I've been on the show this first time, you can go to Bella Mia. She took me up with my hair. Other than that, you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. And thanks for having me, guys.
And
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you coming on the show. It's been in the making for a minute. We definitely gonna have to have you back so we can break down some more episodes and talk about what's in people's mouths. So,
That deep.
hey, good night and thank you. Out.
Ciao.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.